everybody, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing great. So I had a request via TikTok to kind of talk about base building, and settlement building, and how to set up your provinces and that kind of thing. Now I can only show you my method and kind of how I like to do things. There are a lot of different ways to do stuff. We're in a game of playing as the Dwarfs, so this information can kind of be spread and used in almost every faction, except for maybe some of the Horde-based factions like the Beastmen, etc., etc. But with that said, you can kind of see this is kind of a small. We're at turn 55 here. What I try to do is put military buildings in big settlements, economic buildings, and lower tier unit buildings in the small settlements, and then the bigger settlements, I try to reserve those for higher tier buildings or buildings that can go above level 5 or go above level 3, go to level 5. So even though this is kind of technically for me, this is kind of early-ish game. But I've got 2 deals of money here. Now these are maxed out for this settlement, but I can't put multiple different money makers over here. So when you're playing as the Dwarves, you have to either build a guild marketplace or build the trinket maker. You can't have both. And when I'm trying to build an economy, I want as many of these money-making buildings as I can. And also, you want to have some kind of vector for growth. So like the log, this is mostly income. But there are some, I'm trying to find one. So this is for the dwarf. This is the stone bread bakery. This gives you your growth. And the growth is what's going to help, what improves or makes this go up, your population surplus. So once you get a population surplus of 1, then you might be able to upgrade a smaller settlement or a bigger one. So like here at Magrita, I think that's how you say it, we're at a level 2, and you see it takes a population surplus of 2, plus it takes 6,000 gold. And you can see we're almost going to be at population surplus 1. So once you get this to 2, by having buildings that provide growth, and in this case, the Dwarf Wharf, wow, that's awesome. It provides 10 growth and some income. Each of these provide 10 growth and some income. This is damaged right now, but once it's repaired, it'll supply some income and growth. So you can see technology, I have 10 plus, level of control minus 20, events 15, buildings 60, plague right now, because the one built, I got a couple of settlements got plague going on, minus 30. So that gives me my growth, growth needed for surplus. I need 125. I'm at 90 out of 125 right now, and we're positive 35. So this is going to go up by 35 each time. And right now we're sitting at 1 turn, and then I'll have 1 population growth. Now if I improve my control, once I get here to control of 25 to 50, I'll get plus 5, and then plus 15, and finally, in absolute control, we'll have plus 25. So you want to have a good balance of control and growth buildings to grow your provinces. And so typically what I try to do is put growth buildings in these minor settlements like Nuja and Tobaro. I think that's how you say it. I would put a growth building in here if it was on land. But since I have the Wharf, I haven't put those in here yet. But I could, and that would give me more growth. Like up here at Karak Bafor, I could put a growth building in here. And in this situation, I don't have any growth buildings. But I've still got a positive 130 because these settlements are level 3. See, I have 30 plus growth, and then 30 plus growth, and then 30 plus growth here. And so you can see all the different things as providing growth, plus my commandment and all that. So in this situation, I chose not to build the growth building, but you can. When you're starting out, I favor going for growth and economic buildings. And what I like to do is I try to look at my military buildings, okay? And so in this province right here that I have control over, in the bigger settlement, I would try to put buildings that go all the way to level 5 so I can get full benefit out of them once I get this up to level 5. In this case, since this sparring chamber and then finally the mustering hall, it only goes to level 3, I put it in a smaller settlement along with garrisons for defense. So I do that with any building that is going to have, only has 3 slots or only has 3 upgrade spots. And then anything else, I try to build in buildings that go higher. So like this is an advanced building. It's a ranger post, but it only goes to level 3. I could put this building over here later on if I wanted to. So you can kind of see the building browser here. And if I click on Margarita, you can see that I can go all the way to level 5 with most of these advanced military buildings. The artillery one, the foundry, it goes to level 4. But to get thunder barges, I need to have a Guildmaster's Council. That's a level 5. Rune Lord's Hall, need to have a level 5 here. So I would try to put these buildings in this capital because I can go all the way to level 5 here. And that also goes for like this resource. It goes to level 4. So I wouldn't want to put it over here. I'll keep it in the capital. But these 2 buildings, these military recruitment buildings right here, where you can get some of your mainline units, you could put these in these smaller settlements if you wanted, because they only go up to level 3. And then over here, put your growth buildings, which is this barley field all the way up to Stonebread Bakery. That can go in these 2 smaller ones. And then in each capital, I would put one or the other of these 2, Trinket Maker or Trading Post. And you can only have one. But then in the other spots of these, I would put the other ones. So that way I'm getting gold, I'm getting oath gold, my economy's being built up, and I don't have to worry about, having a bunch of buildings in my capital. You know what I mean? Or having a bunch of capitals. If I had just a bunch of minor provinces or minor settlements, you can fill these up. One in each, and then a growth building. If this was going to be kind of a purely economic and growth province, the way I would probably do it is, let me go to somewhere else that doesn't have. Let's go back over here. What I would do here is kind of like pretty much what I've got set up. In some cases, maybe I wouldn't do, if this is going to be purely economic, I would get rid of this, put in a growth building, still have the garrison, because playing as this faction and this lord, armies are really expensive at this point in time of the game. So I want as much defense as I can. That is a personal preference. I know some people that say, don't worry about the watch rooms, the garrisons. I feel like they have some benefit, and I like putting them in there. It increases the health to settlements, towers, gatehouses, improves projectiles for the towers that are on the walls. And so I think they're beneficial. I like putting them in almost every settlement unless I'm in the core. So if I expanded out and I had no enemies around or had a pretty big buffer, I could probably then delete these and put in another building, maybe one of these ranger outposts, or put in arms forge, something that only goes to level 3, while saving and keep the money buildings, while saving these buildings that can take a higher tier, go up to level 4 and level 5. I'd save those for capitals. And so you also want to look at like landmark buildings and that kind of thing, and see what level they're at. And I would really look at these because they give you some give you really nice benefits. Like this one, which I might need to look at actually building. It requires level 2, but it gives me, gives me local recruitment capacity, global recruitment capacity, +4 rank for my minor units, +30 growth, and an income boost, and it generates 500 income. So you want to look for these landmark buildings. They give you special things. And then the dwarves also have the deeps. Now I can't really show you too much here, but you get special slots that allow you to build more economic buildings in, like, it's almost like an undercity in the Skaven, but this you have to build it, and you can get oath gold. I switched up campaigns. This is a late game, another dwarf game, but I'm at turn 186 on this, and we have a vast dwarven empire. So let's look at kind of how I have things built out here. So here is a prime example of a province that I would build in a game. So I've got all high level buildings in the main capital. It's a level 5. Everything is maxed out as high as it can go. I have a deeps. I have high tiered foundry here, high tier special resource that get diamonds, and I have an underway. So here I can show you the underway, which it looks like it is maxed out as well. There's several different buildings. So if we do this, maybe I can show. Nope, it doesn't show me, doesn't allow me to. Oh, here we go. So here's all the different deep buildings you can do. Each of these has a unique benefit. So like this one, the ruined drinking halls, it gives you some income control, but it brings down your beer production, right? This one, ruined clan goldsmiths, with 100 plus more oath gold, I get more income. And then I upgraded it to use even more oath gold, even more income. And then even more oath gold and even more income. You can also come around here and go this way, where it will generate 10 oath gold plus this 30%. And so I get 13 oath gold per turn if I want to win this way. But over here, which I can max this out once I get the money. But anyways, this produces oath gold and research and recruitment costs for armies in the province. And then this also gives me recruitment cost, oath gold, construction for all buildings, and upkeep for armies faction wide, which is awesome. So I went this way. So the undercity, or the deeps for the dwarfs, that's because of what we're playing, gives you some special benefits. Like Underdeep Mine here generates income a little bit, but it also gives me more gemstones, iron, marble, oath gold, the ability to call the miners for armies in the region. But it gives me negative diplomatic relations with Skaven, Greenskin, and Chaos Dwarfs. That's fine. This is a really good economic boost if you're trying to do a lot of trade. But this is how I would typically set up. And so, like, since this is maxed out, I probably had a growth building here. But since it's maxed out, I delete it because I didn't need it. Now, I could have kept it for the casualty replenishment rate, but I'm not really holding a bunch of armies here. And so take that spot, get rid of it, and then get you something else. So, like, really the only thing I could do here is I could do the underways lookouts, control minus corruption. Gives you a little bit of protection against plagues and that kind of thing. Or I could do like a ranger outpost because it goes up to level 3. Like I said, I try to do the only buildings that go to level 3 and the smaller settlements, and then buildings that go higher than level 3, level 4 to level 5 in a capital. Now, over here, I could get rid of that. And if I had the money, I could put another deal of deeps here. The same way with here. I could get rid of the money or the garrison and do deeps and really go hard into the economic power to really boost the economy of this province. So you could do that as well. Just know that the deeps take a lot of money to upgrade and to fully flesh out. This is how I typically build my settlements and my thought process. It also kind of depends on where I'm at in the map. So, like at this stage, like I have a bunch of territory. So in the core stuff where I'm not surrounded by enemies, like these are all allies. Like there's not too many enemies left to the core. So I could get rid of all the garrison buildings and put underways here or the deeps in this section of the map and really boost my economy if I wanted to. You could do that. And it would be awesome. But you could also, if you've got armies that are spread kind of thin, like I've got my 3 armies here, and then I've got a couple of I got an army here, and I've got armies spread out. Just in case one of these guys decided to get feisty, and I got a bunch of armies over here. But if they decided to get feisty, then I have the garrisons there, maxed out garrisons, to at least slow the enemy down. So that's why I like garrisons, especially on provinces that are way away from any of my core settlements or anything. I do garrisons. This game, like I said, it's turn 186. We are spread all over the place. But it's good. It's all good because my homeland is protected. I've got garrisons. I've got all the things going. And you can see I've kind of kept to that strategy, except for maybe this building here. But of putting tier 3 buildings that go in tier 3 into minor settlements, and then the capitals, I put the buildings that can go higher than tier 3. That's my philosophy. I hope this helped you guys out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I stream weekly, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And so watch out for those. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and we'll see you in the next one.